Life after death. The first question that arises in the mind about this subject is that is there any life after death? And if it is there, how it looks like? The answer to this question is beyond our knowledge. No human has an eye with which he can peep into that world after this life. No human has an ear with which he can hear the happenings of that world. We do not have any equipment with the help of which we can find out any information of that world. Also, science cannot help us to find the answer to this question. But it is unscientific to say that there is no life after death because science has not been able to disprove that there is life after death. So, the answer to this question at this stage can take two forms in the light of science. One, there is a certainty about life after death. Two, there is an ambiguity in your mind about this question. But is it practical to just be in this state? The answer is no. Either your answer regarding this question should be yes or it should be no. If there is an ambiguity about life after death, then your behavior will be as good as the denial of life after death. Now let's discuss the problems of a doubtful mindset to deal with the question of life after death in the practical life. Let us imagine that you have to deal with a person about whose honesty you do not have any prior knowledge. That is, you do not know whether he is an honest person or a dishonest person. Hence, in practical scenario, you can either trust him that he is an honest person or you have doubt about his integrity. But if your behavior is in a doubtful manner, it is as good as that you do not have any belief in his honesty. So, in this scenario, if you continue to deal with him in a doubtful manner, the result cannot be correct if the man is really an honest person. From the above example, we can make out that the question of life after death is not just a mere philosophical discussion. If you further ponder over this question, you will realize that your belief about life after death has a great impact on the way you behave in your practical life. Let us imagine that a person does not believe in the life after death. Then his behavior and actions in this world will be of one kind. And if he has a belief that there is life after death, then his behavior and actions in this world will be of another kind. Let me try to prove this with an example of two kinds of men traveling to a city, say Mumbai, from another city of India. One man thinks that there is no accountability about his actions or behavior during the life he led in the other city after he reaches Mumbai. After he reaches Mumbai, he is free from any kind of accountability about his actions he committed in the past. So his behavior and actions will be of one kind. There is another man who believes there is accountability about his actions once he reaches Mumbai. He believes that there is a document about his past behavior, and after I reach Mumbai, the police, the courts of Mumbai can take action on my behavior by going through that document or record of my behavior. Then the behavior of this person will be of a different kind. Hence, from the above example, one can make out that this question about life after death has a direct impact on your character formation. Now, let's take a look at the rules governing the life of this world on the two visible entities. 1. Human body. 2. Universe. Both are a mixture of various kinds of substances such as gases, water, fluids, and chemicals. Both are governed by certain kind of physical laws that are mostly neutral in nature. Their physical structure needs nourishment in some certain formula and type. But on top of that, there is an additional element accompanying the human being. That is, he has freedom of behavior. This makes him free to behave in either a good way or a bad way, which defines his character. Let me make this thing clearer. A man has will or power to exhibit good qualities or bad qualities. He can be a good donor or he can be a miser. He can say truth or he can say a lie. He can act in an honest way or in a dishonest way. But the entire other universe behaves only by the lines of mere physical neutral laws. At least to our knowledge, no other beings have this capability. In this universe, a certain kind of work can be done in a certain way and its result will be predictable. For example, if you sow a mango tree, you will get a mango tree itself. But the behavioral laws associated with a human being need not necessarily run on the lines of the physical neutral laws. For example, if you do good to someone, there are chances you will be showered with flowers, but there are chances you will be showered with blows as well. Let us take a look at how the good or evil actions are recompensed under the laws of the present life. Imagine a man burns the house of another man. In this incident, the victim loses his life, his children's life, and he loses his house. Now, in order to punish the culprit, there should be a case filed in the police station against him. Then, the crime should be proved in the court, and finally, if proven guilty, the culprit will be punished. If the culprit manages to escape the punishment by presenting false proofs and witnesses, there is no chance that he can be punished as per the present universal neutral laws. On the contrary, if not proven guilty, he can even further prosper in this life. Let us take a look at a larger case. Let us imagine a certain group of people have inspired hundreds and thousands of people in the name of nation, state, or race to perform some kind of activities just to serve their vested interests. As a result, they have the potential to misguide these people to perform many heinous acts such as shed blood, cause warfare, and various kinds of problems. If such a thing happens, this will result in devastation of several lives. We have seen many such examples in history. But such people who instigated these thousands of people, even if they are brought to book, how much punishment can you give them? Even if you hang them or burn them alive, will it compensate to the amount of damage they caused to the lives of thousands of people, not only limited to one generation, but its impact will continue to many future generations? Similar case is of a person who has committed enormous amount of good deeds. A person, due to his good actions, causes the lives of thousands of people to get benefits generations after generations. Is it possible to compensate the good deeds of such a person in the life here? Under both these circumstances, it's nearly impossible the good deeds as well as the bad deeds to get correctly compensated, because the physical neutral laws of the present life cannot accommodate this arrangement. Under these circumstances, the human intelligence is compelled to think that there should be a different kind of world which has altogether a different set of laws which can compensate evenly the actions or the behavior of the human beings in this life. We need a world which can compensate a human being whose actions or behaviors in this life have brought a lot of benefit to the human race. We need a world which can compensate a human being whose actions or behaviors in this life have brought a lot of damage to the human race. In that world, the physical laws should serve only as an aid to the actual laws. To support this argument, Quran comes to the rescue of the human intelligence. In Quran, it is stated that the existing universe and its laws will come to an end on a specific day, and in its place a new system will be created. It will have an altogether different kind of laws, properties and rules. Each and every human being, right from Adam alayhi salam until the day of Qiyamah, will be shown the complete details about his actions and behavior in this life on earth. Then the justice will be done by the most supreme judge, that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, accordingly. However, to accept this phenomenon, there is no material proof or any argument. You need to have belief in the unseen or on the Iman bil Ghaib. Quranic viewpoint. I will just quote an ayah from Surah Nahl, ayah number 65. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والله أنزل من السماء ماء فأحيا به الأرض بعد موتها إن في ذلك الآية لقوم يسمعون. And Allah has sent down rain from the sky and given life thereby to the earth after its lifelessness. Indeed, in that there is a sign for people who listen. In this ayah, Allah clearly questions that, don't you see that there is a land which is laid dead and barren? In that land I send down rain, and you see life once again starts growing up in the form of green grass. Some days ago there was no possibility of life on this land. You see this cycle happening repeatedly every year, which is a clear sign from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He can cause life even after death. When the same fact the Prophet is trying to explain to the people and inform them that in the similar manner you too will be raised once again after you have died, most of the people deny it. The denial has been portrayed in the Quran as follows in Surah Taghabun, ayah number 7. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم زعم الذين كفروا أن لن يبعثوا قل بلى وربي لتبعثن ثم لتنبؤن بما عملتم وذلك على الله يسير. The translation: those who disbelieve have claimed that they will never be resurrected. Say, by my Lord, you will surely be resurrected, then you will surely be informed of what you did, and that for Allah it's easy. Even though after seeing so many explanations and signs from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the deniers of the life after death are now in a fix and their way of thinking falls in one of the following two categories. Number 1. They say the universe and its contents have perfect laws and orders. It's only the man who is free to live the life in a completely own way without keeping in mind any consequences of his actions or behavior. 2. The universe has just come into existence in an anarchical way in which there is no hand of any divine force. As you can see, both the arguments are so weak in nature. In the first argument, when all the entities of the universe are governed in a systematic way, then why only the man has been left out to lead life on his own without caring for any consequences? The second category says a vast universe which has been created without any divine intervention is inhabited by a man who is intelligent enough to carry out his tasks, take decisions, and can explain natural phenomena with so accuracy is once again a very impractical or an impatient argument. So after examining the above arguments of the deniers of the life after death, one can say that they do so either because they are very stubborn or they have gone into a mentally retarded state after reading a lot of philosophies.